My name is Sarah Niles. I am the Assistant Director for Undergraduate Admissions at the University of Central Florida. Just so you're in the right place, this is UCF. I'm going to go through a brief informational session with you all. I will monitor the chat as I'm going. However, I might hold questions until the end just so I can go through all of my information, but definitely will take care of your questions or any concerns that you may have. All right, let's get started. So UCF, we are over in Orlando, Florida. We are the largest university in Florida, and we are the second largest university in the U.S. We have a little less than 70,000 students that attend our institution, so we definitely have a lot of resources and a lot of perks of being a large institution. We are among the nation's best educational value schools. We are a very affordable school. I will talk a little bit more about scholarships later on, but a lot of students end up finding ways to finance their education. About 70% of our student population actually graduate debt free. So, something to consider, obviously, when you're looking at colleges, is how to pay for it. We are also one of the nation's top 15 most innovative schools and a leader in social mobility. Along with that, we are a Tier 1 research institution. We receive more than $217 million in annual research funding, and that can go towards any kind of research, that our students, faculty, staff, graduate students want to participate in. You can start as early as freshman year participating in research. But if you are interested in research, that is something that our school does really well and has a lot of resources for. We offer over 220 degree programs here. We offer 4-year bachelor's degrees as well as graduate programs, so master's and doctoral programs. We pretty much have something for everyone, whether that ranges from hospitality, education, engineering, sciences, medicine, arts and humanities. We have a wide variety of majors, pretty much something for everyone. Outside of the classroom, we have over 650 clubs and organizations on campus. I think that number, is a little over 700 now. So they just keep getting built. A lot of other things that we have on campus, we have fraternities and sororities, Division One athletics, club and intramural sports, student government, as well as just lots of opportunities for leadership, a lot of opportunities for on-campus employment, and federal work study on our campus as well. So we have a very active and lively campus. Our student body is very involved, and there's always something happening on campus, to make it exciting. I like to point out our average class size is about 28 to 1, so 28 students to 1 faculty or staff member. This is pretty small for an average class size, especially for a school as big as us. We definitely do that on purpose just to make sure that you are getting the large school experience and getting the large school resources, but that you're getting an individualized small school attention in the classroom. So this makes it very easy to have connections with your faculty or staff member, be able to reach them, with questions or concerns. So it's something that we are very proud to have. And lastly, just a little fun fact, we are a designated Hispanic serving institution, which means that about 30% of our student population identify as Hispanic. Now, talking about our admissions process to UCF. So first, I'm going to start with our first time in college early action timeline. So what early action means is it's just giving you an earlier decision to UCF. It is non-binding, which basically means that if you are to be offered admission to UCF through the early action timeline, you are not required to, accept it at that moment. You do still have until our May 1st deadline to accept your admission and submit your enrollment deposit. So this is literally just to give you the earliest decision that we can for our first time in college applicants. There are 2 deadlines that you have to hit in order to qualify for early action. You have to submit your initial application by October 15th, and then you have to submit your materials, which we'll go over in a slide or two, by November 1st. If you hit both of these deadlines and have a completed application by November 1st, you will receive some form of decision on November 15th. So that is a really great opportunity, especially if you know that UCF is for you, or you just want a little bit more time to decide, get all of your options together, have a little bit more time to decide what you're interested in, where you actually want to go. This is a really great opportunity to have that decision before your winter break. If you don't hit our early action timeline, or you just need a little bit more time to submit your application or just decide if this is what you want, where you want to go, we are still doing our regular rolling admissions timeline. What rolling admissions means is basically, as we have a decision on your file, we will send you that decision. We're not going to wait for a specific date to release all decisions. They will come out as we have them. This is different from early action, where we are saying this one specific date is when you're going to get your decision. Rolling is not that. So you will end up getting your decision fairly quicker. Our application deadlines are as follows. Summer, our application deadlines March 1st, fall is May 1st, and spring is November 1st. So the components of a completed application for us starts with the initial application. This application is on our website, or you can submit through the Common App. We don't have a preference for which one you do. We just recommend, and honestly, make sure that you only submit one. It'll kind of cause a nightmare if you submit both and waste some of your time. We do have a $30 application fee. And then one of the most important parts of our application is the self-provided academic record for Knights form, or shortened to SPARK form. This is how you're going to self-report your high school grades to us. Now, if you're looking at any of the other state schools in Florida, they'll have you submit something called the SSAR, or the SAR. This is pretty much the exact same thing. It's just our version of it. Basically, what you're going to do on the SPARK form is you're going to put all of the grades that you got for your academic core classes from freshman, sophomore, and junior year of high school. Now, those academic core classes include your math, world language, natural science, social science, and English courses. We will recalculate all of those scores that you got to be on a 5.0 scale, and then we'll add our own additional weight back in if you've taken accelerated classes. So if you've taken AP, dual enrollment, ACE, or IB courses, you get an additional 1 point. And if you've taken honors, pre-ACE, pre-IB, or pre-AP courses, you get an additional 0.5. So that's how we add the weight back into those weighted classes. Now, you don't have to worry about any of that calculation that I just told you. It's a lot of information, a lot of numbers I just threw out at you. All you have to make sure that you do is, when you fill out the SPARK form, that you have your high school transcript right next to you. You're able to just very easily transfer all of that information over onto the SPARK form. And lastly, what we require, we are not test optional, so we do require some form of standardized test score on file with us. We accept the SAT, ACT, or CLT. None of them hold higher weight than the others. You can submit one, you can submit all of them. We definitely recommend taking, multiple tests. Sometimes students will do better on one test over another. Or if we also recommend taking one test multiple times. We will super score if you have taken those tests multiple times. What super score basically means is that we're going to take, for example, if you're taking the SAT twice, and the first time you took the SAT, you got a higher grade on reading and writing, but on the second attempt that you took the test, you got a higher grade in math. We'll take those two highest grades from the two different tests, put them together, and create your highest overall score. Those are all the things that we require on an application. We do have an optional essay. It is optional, but it is highly recommended. Everything else that we're asking of you is numbers based. The essay does give us a little bit more information about who you are as a person, why you want to come to UCF, what you want to accomplish, things like that. So this is our freshman admitted class profile from last application cycle, fall 2024. We had about 48,000 applicants, about 6,000 were admitted, and a little less than 5,000 ended up enrolling. And this is just for the fall semester. We also do admit for spring and summer. These are our mid-ranges. These are the middle 50% of that admitted class. These are not minimum requirements. We don't have minimum requirements at UCF. However, we are a little bit more competitive nowadays, so we do like to show you the mid-ranges just to show you, where you want to be for best consideration for admission, but again, not minimum requirements at all. And then just to remember, note the GPA is on a 5.0 weighted scale. It's not at a 4.0. All right, we also accept transfer students to UCF. So a transfer student, we classify a transfer as someone who has completed 12 or more college level credits after high school graduation. So if you've taken college classes, you were dual enrolled while in high school, that is awesome. You'll still be able to bring the college classes over to UCF. You'll get those additional points towards your GPA. However, you're still going to apply as a freshman student. Transfers obviously graduated high school and then took college classes. Our application completion deadlines for transfers are a little bit different from first-time and college students. For summer, it's March 1st, fall, it's July 1st, and spring, November 1st. The admissions requirements for transfer students do vary on the number of credit hours you've earned, and also specific college courses. We do require a couple of them, depending on your transfer level. So all of that information can be found on our website. We also do host transfer to be a night info sessions that are just like this. However, they are all about the transfer experience, which you can register for on our website if you are interested in, learning more about that. And lastly, we do give admissions preference to those that have received their AA degree or statewide articulated AS degree from one of Florida's 28 community or state colleges. So if you decide to go, to a community college first, which is totally fine, and then you want to transfer over to UCF to get your bachelor's degree, we will give you admissions preference over an out-of-state transfer student. Along with that, we also have this really great program called Direct Connect to UCF. What Direct Connect to UCF is if you attend any of these 6 specific Central Florida state colleges, so College of Central Florida, Daytona State, Eastern Florida State, Lake Sumter, Seminole State, or Valencia College, earn your AA degree and at least a 2.0 GPA, and apply to transfer to UCF, your admissions is guaranteed. So that's something that a lot of students take advantage of. It's a really great program. We offer that. It's a really good program and really popular as well. About 50%, 50-50, we admit transfers and freshman students. So, it's very popular we accept a lot of transfer students. We have these really awesome programs too to kind of help you do that. Scholarship opportunities. For freshman students, we do offer merit-based scholarships. The priority consideration deadline for merit scholarships is November 1st, which, if you remember, falls in line with our early action timeline. So just something to note, if you want to be considered for a merit scholarship, you are going to want to follow the early action timeline. There is no additional application. As long as you are applying for summer or fall, you will be automatically considered. And then we give out 4-year total awards ranging from $6,000 to $42,000. This will be split up between the 4 years that you're at UCF. And lastly, approximately only 25% of incoming freshmen are awarded merit scholarships, so they are really competitive. And if you took note of our mid-ranges a couple of slides ago, most of our scholarship awardees were above our averages. So just something to note. We do offer transfer scholarships. They are specifically for certain transfer students. You do have to have earned an AA degree from a Florida community or state college and must be enrolling at UCF in a fall semester. There also is an additional application that you have to fill out. It is on our website if you're interested in looking at that. For everyone else, we do accept any kind of aid that you might be bringing in, including Florida Bright Futures, the prepaid plan, any federal financial aid that you filled out, the FAFSA, and received, we will accept all of that. And external scholarships. So if you receive any scholarships from your high school, athletics, maybe your family wants to sponsor a scholarship for you, you can bring all of that to UCF. We are, again, as mentioned, a very affordable institution. About 70% majority of our students graduate debt-free, so it's a really good financial option to come to UCF. Our application timeline, just a brief overview. Our applications for next cycle do open August 1st, so just something to take note of. The FAFSA will generally open in either October or December, just kind of depends on the year. So just look out on the federal government website. We do the enrollment deposit and decision deadline to accept and submit your enrollment deposit is going to be May 1st. So just something to note, you do have until then to make a decision on your admittance to UCF. That goes for the early action participants as well. If you're offered admission through early action, you do still have until May 1st to make that decision. And then over the summer, before you start at UCF, all freshman students have to attend a 2-day orientation program, mandatory. But the most important thing about orientation is that is the first date that you are going to be eligible to register for classes, and you'll do so alongside of your academic success coach. Transfers, pretty similar, but a little different. We do have transfer success coaches here at UCF that are here to help you, figure out that you're on the right path, figure out if UCF is for you, make sure you have all the prerequisites required to transfer over. So we do have that opportunity for the interested transfer students. We also, as I mentioned, the Transfer to BNI info sessions where it just dives into all transfer information. Definitely feel free to register for one of those on our undergraduate admissions website. 6 months out, recommended again. That's when you should be submitting your application, all of your documents in order to get, a decision from UCF. And then after admission, transfer students are also required to attend orientation. It's 1 day. However, you do a lot of the same things that the first year students will do. But this time with your academic success coach, you'll register for classes and also review your transfer credit evaluation and make sure all of those transfer credits came in. This is all of our contact information. Please feel free to get in contact with us at any time. We have lots of ways to do so: phone, email, live chat on our website. We do also take walk-in. We do have counselors available for walk-ins. If you find yourself on campus, you come and take a campus tour, and you just have some questions for the admissions counselors, you can definitely do so. And that's all the information that I have for you for UCF. I am happy to answer any questions that you might have. Definitely just throw them in the chat and I'll get to them. If you don't have any questions or I answered your question, please feel free to jump out of the chat and go on to another presentation. But I appreciate your time and listening to me speak. And again, if you have any questions, I'm happy to answer them now. We do have one question in the chat. What courses from high school transcripts considered for the college GPA calculation? So we consider math, English, natural science, social science, and world language classes for that GPA calculation. We don't look at extracurriculars, things like that. It is just those core classes. Do students at Valencia have access to any services or facilities at UCF? They do not, unfortunately. If you are a full-time student at Valencia College, you are not a UCF student and do not have access to the UCF facilities or services. Animal sciences programs. So under biology, we do have animal sciences. We also have marine sciences and zoology. And then we also have a really great pre-veterinarian program as well. I'm just going to take a sip of water, but please feel free if you have questions. Okay, what sorts of clubs and extracurriculars are offered at UCF? So we have a lot of extracurriculars and clubs, over 700. They are basically based on pretty much any kind of hobby, interest, social, cultural, religious group. I definitely, if you want to look at our full list of clubs and organizations, you can go to our student government website, and they'll have the full list of recognized organizations under student government. I would definitely check that out. Do extracurricular activities and volunteer work have a weight in the application? They do not for UCF. We only actually look at your academic information, so your high school GPA, your standardized test scores. Where are we? Do you have a computer programming major? We do. We have computer science, we have computer engineering, and then we also have information technology. So it's all within our College of Engineering and Computer Science. I would definitely check out all the majors that we have in that college. What music and fine arts programs does UCF have? So we have music, we have music performance. These are all majors: music major, music performance, music education. We have art, studio art, digital media, which is like our graphic design. We have emerging media. We have a couple of different options there. I would definitely recommend for everyone, if you're interested in looking at all of our majors and like the different classes that are within each major. If you Google undergraduate catalog UCF, you'll be able to find all of that information, all of our majors, all of the concentrations, tracks, minors, all of them can be found on that site. Can I take marketing business classes at the same campus as graphic design? So our digital media program is hosted on our downtown campus. Marketing and business classes are going to be at the main campus. So technically you can take classes at both campuses. It's just marketing and business classes are not going to be offered at the downtown campus, but you can take classes at both campuses if you, have a digital media class, you'll go to the downtown campus, and then when you have your marketing and business classes, you'll be at the main campus for those. So we're unlike USF, where all of the campuses kind of work independently. All of our campuses, our Rosen Hospitality Campus, our downtown campus, and our main campus are all connected. So you're not just a student at one campus; you're a student, at all of them. Sure. Again, feel free to ask more questions, or you can bounce out and head on to another presentation. I thank you for your time and coming, and I hope you guys learned something.